Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Ingrid, and on this channel, I share stories and reflections about simple living, self-love, and creating peace through minimalism. Minimalism didn't happen overnight for me. It wasn't this perfect transformation where one day I woke up and knew exactly how to live with less. It was messy, emotional, and full of lessons. Today, I want to share something a little deeper, the mistakes I made before I became a minimalist. Because behind every peaceful home and calm life, there's a journey of trial, error, and learning how to let go, not just of things, but of old habits, fears, and expectations. So if you're someone who's just starting your minimalist journey or maybe struggling to stay consistent, I hope my story gives you comfort and a gentle reminder that growth takes time. So grab a warm drink, get cozy, and let's talk heart to heart about the mistakes that led me here. In the beginning, I thought minimalism meant decluttering fast. I remember one weekend I filled bag after bag with clothes, books, and home decor determined to become a minimalist in a single weekend. But what I didn't realize was that decluttering without reflection only creates a new kind of chaos. I was still emotionally attached to a lot of things. Each item carried guilt, memory, or identity, but I was rushing to let go without asking why I had them in the first place. That was my first big mistake. Minimalism is not about speed, it's about intentionality. If you declutter without understanding your patterns, you'll find yourself buying again later because the mindset hasn't shifted yet. What helped me was slowing down, tackling one drawer, one category, or one emotional layer at a time. It's not a race, it's a relationship with yourself. It sounds ironic, right? But when I first discovered minimalism, I started buying minimalist things, white storage boxes, neutral decor, matching containers. I thought minimalism was an aesthetic, not a mindset. I replaced clutter with coordinated clutter, and though it looked tidy, deep down, I was still consuming more than I needed. That's when I learned you can't buy peace. Minimalism isn't about owning a certain style, it's about owning less, period. Before you buy another minimalist item, ask yourself, am I solving a problem or just feeding a habit? The most minimalist thing you can do is use what you already have. Before minimalism, I held onto things out of guilt. Gifts I didn't like, clothes that didn't fit, items that reminded me of people I no longer spoke to. I thought letting them go was selfish or disrespectful. But I learned something powerful. You can appreciate the memory without keeping the item. When you release something with gratitude, you're not rejecting the person or the past, you're just choosing peace over obligation. Letting go doesn't erase love, it creates space for the present moment. Before I embraced simple living, I was always busy. I filled my days with tasks, my weekends with errands, and my home with projects, thinking productivity equaled worth. But I was exhausted, emotionally and physically. Minimalism showed me that being busy doesn't mean being fulfilled. There's a big difference between a full schedule and a full life. I learned to slow down, to do fewer things with more heart. And in that stillness, I found something priceless clarity. When I started watching minimalist YouTubers, I wanted my life to look like theirs: bright white rooms, empty counters, aesthetic wardrobes, but my version of minimalism looked different, lived in, cozy, imperfect. For a while, I felt like I was doing it wrong. But minimalism isn't about matching someone else's standard. It's about aligning with your values. Your space should feel like you, not a showroom. Comparison steals peace. Authenticity creates it. I decluttered my home but kept my mental clutter. Negative self-talk, overthinking, toxic relationships. Minimalism taught me that the hardest clutter to remove isn't on the shelf, it's in the mind. Before you clean your home, clean your thoughts. Ask yourself, what stories am I still holding on to? What expectations can I release? Decluttering your space is just the beginning. Decluttering your mindset is where the transformation begins. At one point, I wanted my space to stay spotless, no mess, no mistakes. But life isn't static. It moves, changes, and gets messy. Perfectionism made minimalism stressful, and that's the opposite of what it's supposed to bring. Minimalism isn't about control, it's about flow. It's okay if there are dishes in the sink or papers on the desk. It means you're living. Let minimalism support your life, not restrict it. When I first felt peace through minimalism, I wanted everyone around me to experience it too. But not everyone was ready, and that's okay. Minimalism is a personal journey. You can inspire others, but you can't force them. I learned to lead by example, not pressure. And eventually, some people in my life started simplifying on their own, not because I told them to, but because they saw the peace it brought me. Sometimes, while decluttering, I focused so much on removing that I forgot to appreciate what I kept. Gratitude is what transforms minimalism from deprivation into joy. You stop asking, "What do I lack?" and start whispering, "I have enough." Before I became a minimalist, I overlooked so many blessings: running water, a safe home, food in the fridge. Now, I see abundance everywhere, not in quantity, but in presence. Minimalism can feel endless always. Another area to declutter, another habit to improve. But I've learned to pause and celebrate small wins. Every drawer cleared, every mindful purchase avoided, every peaceful morning, it all counts. Progress isn't linear. Some days you'll feel inspired, others you'll feel stuck. That's okay. Minimalism is not a destination. It's a lifelong practice of awareness and gratitude. If I could go back in time, I'd tell my younger self this: you don't need to get it perfect. You just need to start gently. The mistakes I made before becoming a minimalist were all necessary. They taught me what peace truly feels like. They shaped who I am, and they continue to guide how I live. If you're in that messy middle, decluttering, questioning, trying again, please know that you're not alone. Minimalism isn't about living with less. It's about living with intention. And before 40 or 50 or any milestone, the greatest thing you can do is make peace with where you are now. Thank you for being here, for spending this time with me, and for walking alongside me on this journey toward a quieter, more meaningful life. If this message resonated with you, give this video a like and share your own story in the comments. I'd love to hear what lessons minimalism has taught you. Until next time, live simply, live kindly. And remember, you already have enough.